I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. New York Governor Kathy Hochul joined Senator Chuck Schumer and Representative Jamal Bowman at a press event on Monday for an affordable housing announcement. The New York governor announced the approval of a loan refinancing deal for Co-op City in the Bronx. The approval would give over $100 million to projects to repair and improve buildings, which house close to 50,000 people. Take a listen to the announcement.
Wow, you've waited a long time for this, and this is what we celebrate here today. And I am here with some amazing leaders who made this happen. Chuck Schumer, our senator, majority leader. No, I'm not done. You wait a minute. You know, we're sharing a little news here because I just became a grandma. Okay, thank you. But he's been telling me there's nothing as amazing as being a grandparent, but we've both agreed, but fixing Co-op City might be right up there as number 2. So he has worked so hard for this. Thank you, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, for putting your heart and soul into this project, because I know this meant so much to you and your constituents here. Also, it doesn't hurt to have a congressperson who's so engaged, who cares so deeply about this community, and that is our Congressman Jamal Bowman is here. Let's give him a round of applause as well. And one of my true allies and friends in our state Senate, Jamal Bailey, we are here to give out, we were here together giving out turkeys a few months ago, so he's done an amazing job, and you know, what a great individual. Just personally, the integrity he has, I love working with him as well. Yes, he is the best. You have the best. Thank you for electing the best. I mean, you are responsible for these individuals. Senator Mike DiBenedetto cannot be here, but he sends his regards. We also have some amazing leaders in government. Alika Ampry Samuel. I knew her. Alika Ampry Samuel. These 3 names, they get you a little bit, you know. But it's a great individual, a person who I got to know when she was in local government. She is now the regional director for HUD. That is a position of power. We are blessed to have her. Let's give her a round of applause as well. Ruth Ann Visnoskitz, my commissioner of HCR, Housing and Community Renewal. She is out there every single day making sure people have the dignity of a good home over their heads. Let's give her a round of applause. Bernard Silik, our board president of River Bay Corporation. Bernard. And all of our partners in the Adams administration and NYC Housing Development Corporation for their partnership, because this is what it's all about. Do you know that word partnership? You hear it a lot, right? What does it really mean? You know how rare it's been when you get the federal, the state, and the local stakeholders all working together? Just imagine the possibilities if this was the norm. My friends, this will be the norm with the team behind me and the elected officials you have, because we're going to change people's perceptions of their government now. Let them know that we do care and we do deliver. That's what this is all about. So here we have this historic partnership. This number is so big I can barely say it. $621.5 million, a refinancing agreement that'll do 2 things. It provides affordable home ownership across, and I'm going to get this down, 15,372 Mitchell-Lama units for the next, you want to hear this, next 35 years. And also, and you've been waiting for this, provides a transformative injection of money for repairs, improvements, and upgrades, and that'll be $124 million over the next 10 years. So let's get that done. Let's make sure that happens. And this is going to happen because of city and the state's credit backing as well, and you'll hear about the federal role from the senator in a couple minutes. But this allows us to modernize Co-op City without raising maintenance costs. How does that sound? How does that sound? We have to protect long-term affordability in places like the Bronx for not just the 45,000 people who call Co-op City home, but everywhere, because that is a basic human right. Is it not a basic human right to be able to afford a place to live in dignity with your friends, your community? And this is why we're so proud of what has occurred here with HUD, our senator, as well as our Congress member as well. So, Co-op City is your home. You love it. This is a place, you love this place. I can feel it. Every time I've come here, I sense that sense of pride. But you know, this started with a little bit of a rebellious spirit. You know the history here. Yeah. You're all a bunch of rebel rousers, aren't you? Okay, that's all right. That's how I started. Okay, it's all how it all starts. But also, 1975. I knew you were born back then. You all look too young. You know, when they started messing around with mismanagement and defaulting on their loans, what did the residents do? Did they sit around and complain, oh no, this is awful? No, they stood up and they fought back. And they withheld their money, their rent money, for over 13 months. That's the power of the people. That's the power, and that's in the DNA of everybody who lives here. So, longest strike of its kind. It was unique, but that just says something about the people who call this great place their home. So we're going to continue working on this project, continue making sure that everyone knows. And I read some language from a poem. You know, there's a poem written about Co-op City? Nobody wrote a poem about my hometown. I think this is pretty neat. Nina Wall wrote in her poem, Ode to Co-op City. Ode to Co-op City, that's pretty neat. From every road it comes into view, rising up like mountain ranges do, swinging around like a Chinese wall, in masses hold all eyes in thrall. This is a magnificent place to live, and the spirit that is here is so powerful. And that's why we're going to continue, not just today. This is a long-term investment in not just buildings, not just in a place, but in the people. And that's what I love about announcements like today. And I want to congratulate all of you, and it gives me great pleasure. Oh, one more thing. Metro North is coming here too, by the way. You guys look, let's get that done. That'll cut our commutes. Hold on, that'll be another announcement. I'm very excited about this. We can't do it all at once, okay? Because then I get all the other parts of the state all jealous because I'm folks. I'm a mom of a big state as well as a grandma now, so I gotta roll out our announcements. But we're very excited about that as well. So I am very, very proud at this moment to introduce someone who's, I know he's our senator, but the national stature to have the highest ranked individual in the entire United States Senate is our own hometown senator. That is extraordinary. That's how we have the money for projects. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause to our Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Good morning. It's great to be here at Co-op City, this wonderful, wonderful haven. You know, I love Mitchell-Lama. I always have. Now, why? Well, number one, my wife grew up in Co-op City is the biggest Mitchell-Lama in New York. Guess what's second? It has a bad name. My wife grew up in it. Her father was a cab driver. Her mother was a clerical worker at Coney Island Hospital. She grew up in Trump Village. The third largest Mitchell-Lama in the state was in my old congressional district. It was called Starrett City. And guess what happened in Starrett City? It comes back again. So these big shot developers, just like with Co-op City, wanted to take it over, kick all the middle class people out, charge high rents, and ruin the whole place. Guess who stopped them? Me. Wait. Guess who was trying to do it? Trump. Bernie knows. Bernie knows. And we beat him. So, but there is no place better than Co-op City. I have so many stories about this place. When my daughter was 2 and we would drive by, that was one of the first places she learned. She'd point and say, Co-op City. Co-op City. We still remind her of that. She's now, just like I told Kathy, right, the greatest thing for me is being a grandparent. I have 3-year-old little Noah. Just last night, my wife says to Noah, Noah, you're so cute, I could bite your butt. Noah says, Noah's not food. But Kathy just became a grandma of a beautiful girl, and Noah's expecting a baby sister at the beginning of June, so life goes on in a lot of good ways. Okay, so folks, this is to have people have a place to live, working people, the people who work in the hospitals, and drive the buses and work in the office buildings. If you don't have a decent place to live, that's it. You got to move from place to place like they did before they had Mitchell-Lama. People would move 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. The kids would not stay in a school. You couldn't establish friendships. You couldn't establish relationships. Too much of your money would go to rent, and you couldn't do other things, even buy the kids the school stuff they needed. So we need places where working people, no one's going to become rich here, and this is not going to be luxury housing, but we got to keep it good. We got to keep it good so your children will be able to live here as well. So it was just over a year ago in early April, I was here with Jamal, wherever he is. There he is. He always wears a nice blue suit. Bernie told us, and Bob told us, that we had this amazing opportunity, that something was, opportunity had come knocking. But they needed the federal government to act. They needed the federal government to act, and swiftly to answer the call. We revealed that in the 45,000 residents here, bigger than most cities, had a rare shot to secure hundreds of millions of dollars to make the critical capital repairs, which means they wouldn't be charging you for those repairs. And this is a 50-year-old place. You need to redo it. You can't just let it sit there. You can't let it deteriorate. So here's an opportunity, because interest rates were so low that if we could refinance at this low interest rate, the windfall would go to the Co-op City Board to make the repairs that are needed in the elevators, in the plumbing, in the parking, in the landscaping, and you name it. The heating, the air, the whole thing. There was about this is a lot of money, $621 million in loans, held by Wells Fargo, but backed by the federal government. Another place I saved was Stuytown. Not Mitchell-Lama, but what we got HUD to do back then was say, we're not letting anybody make a loan to Stuytown to a developer who's going to kick the middle-class people out. Same thing here. The HUD backed the loan. We needed HUD to say, refinance at a lower rate to the bank, which was Wells Fargo. And I got on the phone many times with Marcia Fudge, our great new Secretary of HUD, and I said, this is Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. I'm in charge of all your appointments. One of the great ones I urge her to make is our New York HUD director, Alika Ampry-Samuel, who's right here and doing a great job. Let's get this done. And to Marcia Fudge's credit, she said, we will get it done. So she and I and Jamal worked with the banks, and we said, give them a new loan at a much lower rate. And it happened. And it's going to mean they can redo this whole place without charging you a nickel. Here's some of the letters. There were a lot of letters and phone calls. Here's one of the letters. Here we are. First letter saying, Marcia Fudge, let's get moving. Let's help the 45,000 people who live in one of the best middle-class places to live in New York City. And it worked. But we had to move fast. Bernie, there he is, constantly reminding us, if we didn't do this fast, interest rates are going up. And you lose the advantage. So we had to hurry this along, and we actually announced it back in March that it was happening so we could lock everything in. And it's now, this week, Secretary Fudge called me up and said it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Now, that was a promise Jamal and I made a year ago. Promise made, promise kept. Now, one other thing. I want to thank a number of people. Our state has been very helpful. Kathy Hochul, as governor, has always tried to help things like this. Whenever we've called on her to be there, she has been there, and the state kicked in $70 million, not too shabby. The city kicked in a lesser amount, but good. I guess not enough for Eric Adams to show up here, but it's still good. We give him some praise. Let's just joke. He was all for it, too. And we're cooking. We're cooking. So let me just say this in conclusion. It's been a great effort. I do want to thank everyone on this podium, our governor, our great congressman who worked with me hand in hand, Jamal Bailey, who worked with the state all the time. You have some really great people here. Your city councilman, Kevin was great on this as well as State Senator Benedetto. It's a team, and we all stick together, and we all get it done. So, folks, we have now done something that means that Co-op City is going to stay a good, decent place to live for the next generation. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you for caring. God bless Co-op City. God bless New York City. God bless the Bronx. And God bless the United States of America. Where, by the way, one more little bit of good news. A month ago, as Majority Leader, I made sure we put as our first African-American Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Am I introducing?
Please welcome to the podium, Representative Jamal Bowman.
Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Make some noise. How y'all doing? This is an incredible celebration for Co-op City and for this community. It's just, we got it done. We got it done. We did it. We did it. We did it. So as a freshman member of Congress, there's obviously a huge learning curve when you get in. I was sworn in on January 3rd, and on January 6th, there was an insurrection, the first attack on the Capitol in U.S. history. So I had to learn on the job. I had to hit the ground running, and it's been so rewarding and humbling to have Senator Chuck Schumer serve as a mentor to me from the very beginning of me getting into office. So I wanted to thank him publicly for that. And he's not just a senator. He's the Senate Majority Leader. So again, to have someone like that serve as a mentor has been just tremendous for me. And just a couple of months after getting into office, I got a call from Senator Schumer himself telling me and sharing with me that we had a great opportunity. We had a great opportunity to work together and do something big for Co-op City, to refinance and make sure we keep housing here affordable for the next generation, for 30 years. And housing, yes, and housing has been a major part of our platform from when we started running for office. It continues to be a part of our platform and our work now that we are in office. We have to make sure housing is affordable because housing is a human right. And housing is health care. Now, that may sound crazy to you, but when you are dealing with the stress of housing insecurity on a consistent basis, it impacts your health. It impacts your health. Stress, the trauma, the uncertainty, the worry, and it's just tremendous for me to be a part of helping to make this refinance a reality. And to free up, I believe the final number is 125 million, 124 million, to make sure that we can now invest in the repairs that are desperately needed. So this is tremendous. There's a lot to celebrate regarding this. There's a lot to celebrate regarding the MTA coming back to Co-op City. There's a lot to celebrate as we are introducing a new piece of legislation next week, so come back for that because we're going to have a big press conference related to that. But this is a moment of celebration. But the work continues, and I look forward to continuing to work with Senator Schumer, Governor Hochul, and Senator Bailey, and others to make sure not that we just begin the process of the repairs that are needed, but finish the repairs and help upgrade parts of the facility that haven't been invested in for many, many years, even decades, right? So one piece of this, as I've been talking to Noel and others about, is we have to get the convectors replaced in all of the apartments in Co-op City. We have to get the convectors replaced. Now, this money is not enough. So we're going to have to continue to work and fight to bring in additional revenue to get the convectors replaced, make it safer, and make it more clean, green, and renewable going forward. Because it's not just a safety issue, we're talking about the health. We're talking about asthma rates and many other things, right? So we're going to work together on all of that to make sure Co-op City is firm and secure and continues to be a great place to live. Thank you all so much.